Hi, good afternoon. Ramadan Kareem to all. Thank you for visiting the channel once again. And I was quite occupied, and I could not, upload any other video in between. But markets had presented, quite a few opportunities. I think worth trading, both in DFM and TASI. Uh, but I could not update anything in between because I was actually, quite engaged. So now here the thing is that I have gone through both TASI and DFM, and I'll be making two separate videos, one for TASI, one for DFM today. I have just reviewed all the charts on different time frames, and here it is. So let me quickly log on to this TASI daily, and let us understand what happened. There are quite a few apprehensions and like how why or how I cannot share any signal on the real time basis, because and there are quite the answers are as follows. I do not have many uh, I don't have many people on my list from Saudi or Dubai as yet, so I do not follow it as closely as I follow any other commodity. For example, I will follow sugar or edible oil complex and or some other instruments that are of great interest to me. But eventually, as I get more number of people interested in knowing further, the frequency may improve a lot. So anyways, now here is the point. So I guess last update was on 20th March, so about a month and a half back. There were quite a few actions that took place subsequently, and on the daily time frame on the daily time frame, I have seen that TASI presented a good opportunity worth trading. It is also my classic trading signal that I generally use. So we had a signal right here. So we had a signal right here worth trading, and these signals are power signals. So when they come into the market, I'm sorry, okay, fine. Here is the arrow. No, this is not the arrow. Let's remove it. Yes. So the break here at this point becomes the signal that I desperately look for. In a beaten down market, this is the signal that I look for. May not be able to explain you in great detail over here, but people who know me, they know it very well that this is the signal that I desperately look for, and this is not very regular. In the bearish market, the equal and opposite of it, an equal and opposite of it will be frequent on multiple time frames, but this thing getting market is already in a beaten down level, and then getting something this it will also need a lot of courage on your side, because this essentially means that you're into a deep bearish market, and then there is one bullish signal that emerges, and you want to make use of it. So anyways, so market formed a kind of short term intermediate or intermediate term double bottom kind of formation was there, and then market has rallied for a while, formed a good correction, and now looking forward to rally further, uh, break above this. Those who follow this zigzag Dow pattern will try to enter somewhere here in this level. They try to take market towards this level. Seems difficult, but nothing is impossible for market. Anything can happen. So basically, but your entry, if had I been trading TASI, this was the signal. This was the signal, and then you go ahead and you add you add as the market is giving you some more opportunity. But honestly speaking, as I have already been explaining in the previous videos also, now also my favorite bit is volatility and momentum. And when both come together, I would rather, I'm more interested in trading the instruments where I can make probably uh, double digit returns if market rallies by say a percent or two also. So I if while using those derivative instruments, if market gives me such an opportunity and I have got courage to stay in market for so long, uh, returns can be mammoth. But I'm honestly not interested in doing all that. My bread and butter would be to enter somewhere here, and I'll happily be looking forward to exit somewhere here max, because this will cover my objective. As I told you again, it may seem annoying, but the fact is that I want to be extremely clear. The market can keep doing whatever it wants. My point is, I know my objective. I will just take that slice away from market, and I do not have got any concern what happens thereafter. So if you want to make 10%, 20%, 25%, 30%, I understand that Tasi does not have optionable index or optionable equity available, but still, I mean, like if there are some other options which I am not aware, because there are quite a few good positive things happening there in the markets, then idea would be to capture that move and come out of it. Anyway, so this was one signal on the daily time frame worth entering, and if market breaks this level, which might be a bit suspicious also, because as we know, Dow has given up some of the major gains yesterday. So then we'll have to see. And when I'm saying you have to see, it simply means that we have to be vigilant on market. How the signals are unfolding when markets are changing from session to session. So what I'm saying now, uh, so it depends on the time horizon that you have, or you may have, kind of risk management parameters that you have fixed for yourself. For example, if you trade some of the highly volatile instruments, a move like this can make you or break you completely. But if you are not using some of the highly leveraged instruments, you should be fine. There's not much of it, because market rallied from say 6,000 to 7,000 level, you gain about say 13 odd percent with such a move. So there's nothing great. Like, again, it depends upon what you expect out of it. So we should expect some short some correction probably tomorrow. But the good thing is that I have seen that structure of Saudi market is much better than what is available at DFM. I have gone through both the charts together today, and structure is quite good. Now, coming to the lower time frames, I have also seen this Tasi on 5 hourly charts, and I'm sorry, this is not the one that I wanted to open. Here it is. So here you had an entry somewhere around this level. Break here probably. This point gives you clear-cut signal, safe signal, because the risk that you're carrying while riding this. So most important thing for me is not the entry, but the risk that I'm carrying while uh, looking for an entry. So the risk that I carry while trading this is quite less, because this is one of my classic signals. And when I say classic signals, I would be looking for a good return in such cases. So an entry somewhere near here, 6,200 level, allows you to allows you to riding this trend, and we don't have any bearish or corrective signal in between. So somewhere here, an evening star, you can think of winding up your position and capture healthy gains of say 6 or 7%. uh, you can do your own survey of, or you can have good idea about your own portfolio, and you can understand what is happening with those in these markets. So gain of 6 to 7% will not be bad gain during this time. But again, I will be eyeing at a break above this level, because market has got some resistance for you between 7122 to 7300. So this is the gap down resistance. We'll have to watch very clearly. There are 3 points that would be needed to come in my favor before initiating a short trade of any type, which are momentum, volatility, and the and the longevity. So if these three things are not coming in my favor, I would prefer to remain in cash. And many will disagree with me, differ with me, but this is what I have learned, and this is what I practice. I don't mind missing a lot of trades, and then taking a couple of those that have got potential of achieving my objectives. So in short, so this is the level that you should be watchful and should be careful, and I am not sure if I'll be watching these markets very clearly. Otherwise, if I see any signal unfolding in this zone, that should be vital. That should be vital. At least if market starts correcting from 7300 and something emerges here, which includes momentum and volatility getting aligned my side, I think market may retrace all the way, may test this level. Though I'm not saying anything right now. There is no clear-cut bearish confirmation, so the expected direction will be moderately bullish. Take your decisions very carefully, and trade well, trade less, and avoid trading every day, which is the funda. So this is what I have shown you here, and I want to show you something else as well. So this is one of the thing that I follow frequently, and I do put my efforts into it. So I want to show you this, and I want to tell you, I want to help you to understand why I focus on quite a few instruments, and then choose what to do and what not to do. So this sugar number 11 gets traded at ICE futures in London, and this is how it looks like. Sugar has been in deep bearish market since about 3 years now, and market was sorry, let me put this daily chart. Okay, so you can see what happened to sugar. Probably I want to give you an overview. Overview will come from here, the monthly chart. The other problem that I forgot to mention is that for TASI I don't have real time data, so I have got the data with this data on investing is delayed by roughly 15 minutes. Anyways, so sugar has been into deep bearish market. As you can see that sugar started crashing from say 35-36 level, and it went to even 9. Anyways, I'm not talking about this, but in the recent past it has gone below. It has gone much below 10 level, 9 level also. So 9.10 it closed last week, which is where I had my signal. And when I say I had my signal, what I mean, I'll just show you. And this signal is same that I have shown you for TASI a while ago. So what I'm trying to stress over here is, and over the over the week I was talking to some of the senior guys from the industry as well. So let me go to hourly time frame. Okay, now see here, this is my signal. So practically my entry was open other time frames as well. I'm not able to get hold of what I want from this, but let me tell you that my entry that I determined was at 9.19 or something. Okay, and my objective was very clear, to capture not more than 25 to 30 points. So look here, the work that I have done is primarily focused on the momentum and volatility, which means that this is pure maths without any emotions or anything involved into it. I am not aware about even the fundamental outlook of sugar market. Till about before this pandemic began, sugar was trying to capture some the ground that it had lost. Sugar literally collapsed from 15 level and came all the way till 9 level. But anyways, now how does it impact? How does it affect you? Or how it will affect the people who are trading sugar number 11? So assuming that you are trading say 100 lots of sugar number 11, it would need roughly an investment of say about 100,000 US dollars. You gain say 20, so these are all leveraged positions, needless to say. So you gain about say 25 points. Per point gain can make or lose $11 for you. So you make roughly say about 27,500 US dollars in less than couple of sessions, because in the day one there was a gain of between the low and the close, it was 37 points, and then after that sugar rallied for another 100, about another 100 points. So no matter how dumb you are, if you are not able to see anything, still capturing this 20-25 point will not be as complicated as one may think. So here the point is that this is all patience. This needs a lot of patience, but at the same time people get surprised when I mention this. But again I repeat that I do not care where the market is going. I am only concerned about whether I am able to get my slice out of it or not. So my slice was probably say 25 to 30 points in this 25 to 30 points in this market when market started correcting, because you'll have to understand that this market was in deep bearish trend. You can clearly see high, you can see lower high lower lows, lower high lower lows here. You can see lot of bullish signals had collapsed on daily time frame, which triggered this downtrend rally. But the point here is that after rallying, after it started moving from 9.10, it never gave anything worth considering that market will not go higher. But at the same time I'm not long term, I'm convinced that sugar is into a deep bearish trend, but it was worth capturing, and the gains were amazing. So that is what I wanted to explain to you. But anyways, the point here is that concluding things on the left hand side of chart is quite easy, and because everything is already lined up. But when you are taking a decision on the left side, it needs a lot of courage. I invite people to let us work on the left side of chart and let us not discuss on the right side of chart. If you have any proposal worth discussing in mind, you can share your views, and we can take it up. But this is how Saudi market is. This is how the Saudi market is looking like till now, and this is this is how it looks like, and I don't have any reason right now to believe that market may not climb up to this level. But as I mentioned to you, market has got potential to do anything It only needs not even three, only two things getting aligned in its side. One would be momentum, another one would be volatility. If those are aligned, it can do wonders in couple of sessions. So with that, I'm taking a leave. Thank you very much for paying your attention. As I mentioned to you, I'm just trying to get hold of this Tasi in a good way, so that good work can be presented. Do not expect signals from me, because clear cut signals from me, unless I have got sizable number of participants, so that I follow this market on a real time basis, and from there I can extract some signals, and I give it to you. uh, so that is how it is. At the same time, avoid trusting all these financial advisors and all. Do your own research, and rely on good quality people who know the market. Anyways, I do not recommend any trade. I do not discourage anybody from taking any trade. That is completely up to you. This is your money, you have to manage it. This information that I have shared here is all only for the education purpose. Thank you very much. Take care.